Check this out, fellas. I know it's not mine. All right, it's Mike's. Hey, what's up, Mike?
What's going on?
So Mike just brought this. We're going to work on it. Yeah, nice stories, which I'll fill you in later on that. But what do you guys think of this thing, right? Check this thing out. No, it's not mine. There is the second person on Long Island who happens to have a Simplicity Sunstar with the 20 horsepower Magnum motor on it. She looks pretty good. She's in good shape. She's just dirty. Yeah, take a look. We'll get intimate with it and get around it. So a couple of issues it has, which we'll get into that. Let's see, is this fold back real quick? Yeah. Oh. See? So carburetor, some issues. It runs rich. He says there's a helicoil on one of these plugs. There's some issues with the PTO, okay, some electrical wiring issues. So we got to get the deck going, right? The PTO down here. Good thing is, let me turn a little light on. Good thing is he's got grease in it, and remember there was a video on that. So there's been grease. That's all greased. But for the most part, I think he's greased everything. She's in pretty good shape. She just needs some tinkering and love, just like the way I started. And we'll get this thing going. It's for his upstate piece of land, and he wants to put it in service. Yeah, she's just dirty. Oh, look at that. There's a fuel shut off down there. Holy crap, I didn't even know.
I think I put that in there.
Did you?
Yeah, I did that.
Oh, wow.
Good thing you remind me of
Yeah, it's actually on, so I just saw that. Look at that. She's in really good shape. She's just dirty. And there's a lot of little nitty, kind of nitpicky kind of stuff. That same thing with mine. They get tired. Like, you got to service them and take care of them. And the thing is these things usually run so good for so long, people just go, to hell with it. And they just keep going and going and going until finally, it's like, all right, now I need attention. Yeah, look at it. I don't really see a lot wrong. It's just some love and affection and a little bit of money. So a couple of things we talked about was, just like with some of the first videos I did, I can see the tranny sauce that's in there. It looks pretty dark. There is a filter. There should be a filter up front. Be good to get that out and change that. Put some good tranny fluid in. Obviously oil change and stuff. But the PTO is the first thing. We got to make sure this deck is running reliably. All that is spinning good. And then we can get to the motor and the carburetor. He says it runs so rich that you wouldn't want to be in the garage. So that's bad, because gas wash the engine. Yeah, it burns your eye, but if gas wash the engine, it'll wear the engine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we don't want that to happen, because it shortens the life of the engine. And he also has like the same problem. Like, I see the engine mounts are starting to go on it too. It's starting to lean. You can actually see it. So if in the future you want to do that, it hasn't thrown the belts yet, but you see the belt lean? See that one belt in the front, how she's leaning? That's how it started with mine. You see that?
Yeah.
And you saw. So it's just starting. Yeah, but now these were 80s, so after all these years, it's just starting to do all of this stuff. And it's still here. This thing's a monster. All right, fellas, let me go.
It's a beast.
We got to get this thing off. It's raining, and I'll hook back up with you later. All right, fellas, he's gone. Really cool guy. He made this cover. He's a roofer, so this is like specialty roofing barrier material. And you kind of heat weld it. Air gun. Oh, that came nice. So we'll be getting to this soon. And I'm going to do it a little bit at a time. And he's happy because it's out of his way. His wife was giving him a hard time. And yeah, so I think the next thing is, this has been sitting out, so it's filthy. It's a mess. It's got spiders all over it. And it's out because I have no place to put it, and I need to cover it. But before we cover it, next nice day, if that ever happens, yeah, we got to pull this down a little bit here, is, yeah, I'll do that later, is we're going to clean this up, both of them. Get both of these machines kind of cleaned up next pressure wash day. And then I'll use this one for some things, and I'm going to cover it. And with whatever I have. And then we'll get started on this thing as soon as we can. What are you doing? What are you thinking about doing? He doesn't know. Well, I was hoping to get started on this a little earlier, but that didn't happen. So what we're going to do today is I want to get this filled up with some air. So we're going to put some slop leak in there, and maybe I'll jack it up so that we can spin it. I can't really jack it up all the way with that guy because it's just too heavy. I'd have to get in deeper. That lift arm is a little too high. Too long. And then I got the pressure washer out, so we can give it its first pressure wash. And then what we'll do is we'll put this on charge overnight. So let me, I'm not going to film a lot of it, but she's pretty nasty. But that's like the first things that we want to do. So let me get started on that. Now it does run, so once it's running I can move it. But we'll do a first wash here, and then we can come back and drop the deck, because we need to get the deck off to really bring it up on the table and do more work to it. It's filthy. Going to do it. Let's see if this will do it. This one may not do it. Oh, that's close. There we go. That's better. I think these tires are shot. I don't see how they're going to ever hold air. Especially this one, you can see it's all cracked. And that's the bad thing about leaving them like this. But you'd be surprised. Sometimes the slop leak works good. All right, let's get started. I'm going to start off with some of the flat out, and then we'll go to some slime. I have some of this stuff left. We'll squeeze a little bit of this in there. You generally don't need a lot. Once you get it on everything, we'll have to inflate it a few times, but we're not going to inflate it all the way. I don't want to blow the tire out. I've seen it actually fix blowed out tires. putting a mix of super clean on now. It's a mix. It's not full strength. All right, this ain't gonna be the first time we clean this thing. And it's almost dark, so I'll give this about 15 minutes or so. Hit what we can, and then give it a rinse. And I got the battery charged. All right, there's a huge hole over here. I can still feel it, but you was hearing it. And I just kept kicking it over and spinning it over. So I'm running out of time now, but tomorrow we'll pull the chains off. And I just keep kind of doing that, putting some air in it. And it went from going to quiet, and you can see the birthing pains of that green slime. All right, we're gonna leave it. We're gonna see what happens. I mean, it's gonna be flat, but we'll be back. All right, let me give this thing a rinse. All right, I didn't get as much done today as I wanted to. I'm cleaned up. She does look better though. All right, we'll get to the chains tomorrow. We're gonna pull those chains off and see if we can get some more air in here. I think it actually has a little bit of air in it. Yeah, it just came right out. She looks so much better, fellas. And it's cleaner. Like, we can get the scum off and some of the insects. So after the chains are off, we got to drop the deck. We got to get the deck off. Chains off, deck off. We got the battery in, that's on charge. And then we can bring it in at some point. So it'll probably go in the garage. And we'll leave the deck outside because we need to make... The problem is somewhere in the electrical system. There's all kinds of stuff going on here. You can see, I don't even know what some of this stuff is. And then there's extra switches up here. So we don't know what that does. He doesn't either. But we got to prove everything out. And once we get the PTO to work, and we can move forward. Okay, and then we can, because I see some issues already. There's a chain that, I don't think you can see it, but there's a chain dangling here. And see that hook? That is not, like a dog hook, right? That's what was holding up. Oh, there's the chain there. Probably can't see, it's a little dark, but yeah, it's on a dog hook. There's an idea. So I'm not going to spin this thing. All right, I don't want to take that chance. But she's cleaner. I mean, it's not 100%. I still see goop. I guess I didn't get in there good over there. I tried, but we're not worried about it. Like I said, first cleaning, first hosing, and then maybe I'll put the big cover on this guy. This guy could use a hosing. It's dry dirt, fellas. It's dry dirt. But I can't leave it out like this for too long because there's no protection. And we need to keep this thing charged and ready to go in case we need to put on that or the snow thrower attachment. So I got a little bit of time. All right, chains are off. I put a little bit more air in this guy. It's actually holding air now. I wanted to show you. All right, so we're getting ready for the deck. And so look, this all works here, so we can get an idea of, because mine, none of this works on mine, and who knows if it'll ever work again. So we'll get some good pictures of this. So just about ready to drop it. I think I want to bring it into the garage like I was saying. But look, see? And we'll get an even closer look soon. But look, see the doggy thing. You know, in a way, it's not a bad idea, right? If you think about it. Because you just pull the latch down and then you can unhook it. But that's not what you want. You know, that's not, I don't think that was intentional. His rollers are more worn than mine. It's definitely seen a lot of ground use. All right, let me get a battery in it. And we'll drag this thing over. We'll get it running. And this doesn't look too bad. A little bit of paint and a few other things. This is not right. See, somebody put it different. This is how they fastened it. So that's definitely not right. But we'll get to know. Oh, jeez, fellas. What is this? What is this? What is this? All right, one step at a time. Let me not get overwhelmed. But you see, I'm just kind of getting my face and everything. And that's the idea, is we want to get intimate with it. That's why I clean things. I can take a look and see what's going on. What is this down here? Is a stick or something? Yeah, there's stuff jammed in this pulley. Oh, there's all kinds of stuff jammed in there. And I ran, there's that in there, there's a grease fitting all deep in there.
That's it, boy. Get in there nice and deep like.
That I had a hard time on mine getting any grease in it. is probably the same problem. This could be locked for all we know, because if that locks, I don't know what to tell you. Mine was getting close. That is basically, it is a power transfer thing. It's just a housing with bearings in it that you need to grease, and if you don't grease them, you can't get the power from the engine into the drive shaft and then into the deck. That's the problem with it, and mine was starting to lock up. That, and then there's another piece over here, and again, you're not really going to be able to see it, but well, I'll get you in closer. But this guy too, right? Mine was starting to lock up, and hopefully we can solve all of that. We got to get grease in there. Other than that, okay, it's not too bad. All right, let me keep going. We'll get the battery in now. We'll get this thing started. Maybe spin the back while she's up on that jack stand and let the soup go into the tire a little bit more. So the battery's been on charge for a couple of days. I cleaned up the terminals on the battery. Also, these are actually kind of neat terminals. These are brass. So I cleaned them up a little bit. Let's see what else we got. We can see, I see some issues. I remember it seemed like there was some problems with his throttle. He's like, really? I'm like, it is working. Oh, it's sticky as hell, fellas. All right, let me, yeah, she don't want to come back down. Yeah, it's going to be in the cable. Let me get a little bit of something to sweeten that up. Stand by. I'll show you over here. See how it's not moving? This is getting stuck here. So let's pull this off. Let me get something to pull that off. I need to get this off anyway. There's water in there and stuff. You know, just anything I can. I'm not going to get all of it right now, but now is when we make the mess. Yeah, let me get some in the key switch. Let's see. Uh-oh, she's stuck. Now look. Something not right. Oh, there we go. See, that thing's not right. That switch ain't right. Oh, I hate this thing. These are the Pyroil. They got these crappy ends on them, and they just fall apart, and the stuff just goes everywhere. See what I mean? Everywhere it goes. Well, then we're going to use it as the everywhere lube until it runs out. Yeah. Let's get it on the choke cable, too. Where else can I put it? Down there. It will, a lot of it will wipe off, but some of it will evaporate. Let's pull the choke out. Yeah, she's sticky. Yeah. And this needs to be more relaxed. We'll get there. Let's put a little bit of our tranny fluid mix down the throat of the carburetor. And it's in neutral. Let's put the big brake on. Oh wow, this doesn't want to work either. Let me get lubricant over here too. Just gonna liberate this can just to get some stuff going because everything is so sticky. Anything I can see, fellas, just to kind of, you know, we can't get everything, but we'll get some things. I'll do a walk around eventually when we get to the lubrication cycle on this, so I'll pinpoint everything. All right, let's give it a start. Let's put a little throttle on it. All right, it should have started. Let me get some two-stroke for it. All right, we got some good high-quality two-stroke. Could be some water in it, or it could just be, you know, whatever. She hasn't run in a while. Yeah, definitely. It's not getting fuel yet. Good, let's give it some more two-smoke. That's what we want. Yeah, she's having some issues with, I wonder how much fuel is in it. Alright, we see some fuel starting up in here now. Yeah, let me go over to the other side. It should have choke on. I don't know if the choke is even working, fellas. I'll just pull it out a little bit. Uh-oh. Working. Let it warm up. Yeah, throttle's not working. Adjusted right. Alright, I'm going to spin it in reverse for a little while. Let that sludge slime around. I should check the oil first. We gotta let it down before I move it. We'll let it settle and check the oil. Sounds pretty good. Alright, the oil's not bad, but it's not good either. It's not dirty, but it's thin and weak. But there's enough oil in it. We can leave it for now. I think you could see it. You might be able to see it. But it's just very weak. Alright, let's move it. Let's warm it up a little bit more. I want to let it run a little bit. And then I'll drive it around a little bit, and then I got to make a spot for it in the garage. And then we can drop the deck. Go bring it in. That's its idle. That's what I mean. It's like stuck. Well, basically after soaking everything in lube, the pins are out, the shaft is off. You'll see the shaft in a minute, but I managed to pry the shaft off. You're not gonna be able to see it. It's down in there. It's a slip collar style ring. So I basically just jack up the front a little bit, get in there, do what you gotta do, lubricate everything, then let it down. and then you can then jack up on the front there, and just to take the weight off the pins. On the back you can kind of lift it and remove the chains, but only one chain was holding it. All right, we're ready. Let me get muscle this thing out of here. We'll take a look at it in a minute. Definitely a little tough to get out how to jack up the tractor, to get it out underneath the wheel, because the motorcycle's in the way. That's why I don't like motorcycles. They're too hard to move on your own. I don't have the strength for it anymore. This is very heavy. This is a couple 100 pounds. So this is what I was showing you. Now, he's got the nice covers that go on the top. It's a little rusty, but it's in pretty good shape overall. You see what I mean? Right? You know, not a terrible idea. I don't even know how they're mounted on there. Oh, all right, we got to get rid of that. But so the collar was a little stuck, but it's well lubricated for the most part. But it's a little stuck, and we'll get all that lubed up. I got mine. Mine just moves so nice and silky smooth. But it's in pretty good shape. Let me go find a spot for it, and then we'll take a peek at the underside. But she's going to have to sit out here for a little while. Let me go find a spot. I'm gonna go grind up some of the sticks and stuff today. Still got another hour or so of light. Let's see. It's heavy, bros. Very heavy. So it's nice to be able to. I mean, I have no other way of moving stuff. Yeah, can we? Yeah. Yeah, there we go. All right, let me back this thing up. Let me just show you. Oh, look at that. It's got some nice mulching blades on here. Here, let me get you in. This one's really nice. He's got mulching blades on. I'm jealous. I'm so jealous, fellas. And look, he's got the innard rollers. Mine don't have that. Yeah, it's beat though. Look at that. Those blades are shot. Oh, they can be sharpened. But it's not bad. It's in pretty damn good shape overall, I think. It's good. It'll sit like this. It won't, you know, if it gets wet, the water will run right off. We'll leave it right here. He's just got some rust in a few areas. Well, I can really smell my tractor is running lean. That's good. Yeah, she in nice shape, fellas. Yeah, these things are so beefy. I want more. Zippo, send me some of these. He's got tons of them. Yeah, she's sitting real pretty. Yeah, it's nice. I noticed a lot of movement up front, so there's going to need to be some rebuilding going on up front. So she needs a lot, but at least now it's holding air. It's pretty clean. Got a little bit lubricated, and I'm gonna see if I can fit it in the garage somehow. It looks real good. So it'll go up on. Ooh, what's this? There's a bulb. Yeah, we're gonna need tires, but as long as it holds. Yeah, he asked me, so we're definitely gonna need tires. As long as it holds air for now. We just need to get it up and on the lift and move it around and do stuff. And then I think we're just going to chuck these tires. But we'll just keep the stop leak in them for now. Like I said, so we can move everything around. Let me see if I can fit it. I'd like to get the two tractors in if at all possible. So it looks like I might be able to shove it in that way. And I'll see if I can pull mine in along here. Right? What's up next is the mini bike. So I got the engine. And we just want to freshen up the engine. And then we got to pull this out of the way. So maybe I'll just pull this out of the way right now. Let me do that. Well, somehow, I got everything in. This fell off of mine. I guess I must have knocked off the cotter pin. Yeah, she's clean now, fellas. This looks good. And so I got everything in somehow. Alright, I'm going to go chill out, and then I got a little bit more work to do with this thing tomorrow. This will sit until I'm ready to bring it up on on the work table, and then we'll get started on it. But it's still a little cleaner in here. All right, Mike was here. By the way, he gave me some similar material. I'll show you. But it's a little bit ruffled. I'll pull this down a little bit later. But oh my God, I can't even move it right now. This is so heavy. It's roofing material. It's industrial roofing material. I'm going to try to pull that down a little bit. But she's all cleaned and washed and dried in the garage for a couple of days. So now it's out here. We'll bring it back in when I'm ready for it. Let's go take a look at the material he gave me, which is more like a rubber. This stuff, I don't care what storm you get, it's not coming off. I suppose if you had like a hurricane or something, you could just throw a rope around it. But it is so heavy, fellas. It's hard to actually put on. But it's really good as a way to protect a machine. You could just throw this on and just leave it. Let's go see what he gave me. So this is a rubber membrane. It's a kind of a rubber, and it's heavy. I'm gonna go throw this in the shed somewhere, but it's pretty thick. You can see, and it's like a 10-foot piece here at least. So very useful for a lot of things, but probably this will be a similar cover for my tractor. All right, it's cold out here. I gotta go finish up before this storm comes. All right, fellas, that's it for this one. Next episode, we'll go over the electrical system, try to figure out what's going on with the PTO, and whatever else, we'll bring it in here, we'll get it up on this table, and we'll take a better look at it. I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay tuned for the next episode of Mike's Simplicity Sunstar. I'm so jealous, Mike! I'll see you guys later.